All right, welcome back. We continue live right here with the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call on the Bordas and Bordas Hotline. Bob Pompeani, Gene Collier with you. Big, of course, weekend coming up, although the temperature will soar to 56 degrees on Thursday. Game time on Sunday, back down in the 20s, which is interesting because it will be about 50 degrees colder than when it was when Jacksonville was here in October. So it'll feel more like a Pittsburgh kind of game as opposed to a Jacksonville kind of game. Gene, also just talk about the NFC a little bit. You got the Falcons taking on the Eagles without Carson Wentz, and then in a very interesting game, the Saints and the Vikings. Who do you like in each of those?
Well, I guess I like the Falcons. The Eagles are going into that game the first #1 seed to be a home underdog against the 6th seed. It's never happened.
How about that?
So they must be in a lot of trouble, according to the wise guy.
Well, that's just quarterbacking, don't you think?
Oh, it's all quarterbacking, yeah. So I guess I like the Falcons there. And in Minnesota, I like the Saints. I thought the Saints were really impressive. And I just don't think it's going to work out that the Vikings are going to host the Super Bowl in their own building. I don't think that's
never happened before.
I think that's allowed, Bob.
I wish it wasn't in Minnesota, just in case it's too.
Me too. I'm going.
So am I, and I don't want to get there in that kind of weather. Joel in Greenfield. What's up, Joel? How are you?
Very well.
Good.
Go ahead,
Okay,
then.
go ahead.
You're on the air.
Very well.
You're on the air.
Do you think that our defense is going to actually be able to do well against the anemic offense that the Jaguars showed during the
Bills
game against the Bills? Do you think we'll be able to do well against them?
Yes, I do, even without Ryan Shazier. Now, another question would be Ryan Shazier, if he's out for the entire time, which of course he is, can the Steelers win a Super Bowl without him in the middle of the field? That's a different question, but I think they can win this week, Gene.
I think they can, and they will, but I think it'll be close.
I think we established that, didn't we? Let's go to Bob in Beachview. What's up, Bob? How are you?
Suffering from this cold like everybody. But and because of that, I knew there was a conflict in Boston, but I didn't know what it was. What's their justification for trading away or getting rid of a great secondary quarterback? I'll listen to you.
There is no justification. And I don't care that he is heading into potentially a little bit more money. You know, Brady is 40 years old, and whether or not you believe TB12 can go on for another 5 years, that's up to you. But if you're Bill Belichick, you're the coach, you know that that is very rare for someone to do that, especially operate at high efficiency. If he gets hurt, you're done. You got rid of 2 good backups, Gene, just because. And they got a receiver from Indianapolis, didn't help them at all, and they gave away a second-round pick, or they got one just to get Jimmy Garoppolo off the books, which didn't make any sense to me.
Well, the Patriots apparently make mistakes like everybody else. I noticed that James Harrison is playing for the Patriots. That seems like a mistake, doesn't it, Bob?
We'll see.
Yeah, could be.
Especially if it comes down to that game, and then it becomes Alejandro Villanueva against James Harrison most likely, because they look like they're going to play him a lot.
It could, yeah, absolutely.
Who do you like in that if that's a one-on-one matchup?
Oh, one-on-one, those two guys. I'll take Al because I think James is, he retired about 5 years ago. So
yeah, the only thing I'll say about that is that Harrison's leverage is so low, and
Alejandro
Villanueva was so tall that it may be difficult for him to who knows? That's something certainly worth watching in time. Let's go to Dan in Franklin. Hey, Dan, how are you?
Good. How are you guys doing?
We're good, thanks.
good, Dan.
Hey, you think Steelers are going to look at the loss to Jacksonville last time, 30-9, as per se a motivation to pull this one out?
I know.
Let me know your thoughts.
Yeah, Ben Roethlisberger is. He said so on his radio show. So yes, I think they do get a little bit more extra pumped, especially because that was the worst loss of the year, Gene.
I don't think they get anything extra out of it. It's a playoff game. If you don't win, you go home. That's really all the motivation you need.
Well, then, Roethlisberger said he wants another shot at that team. I think down deep he doesn't want them to think, you're going to get 5 interceptions on me. Are you kidding me?
If they were playing the 49ers, would he feel any differently?
I just think there is something extra for
Okay, well, then we're going to disagree on that.
We are. All right, we have Brett Kroboth on Twitter says, I think the Steelers can go into New England and beat the Patriots. When the Steelers played them in the regular season, Antonio Brown was injured most of the game. Also, Jesse James got screwed, which leads me into this. Al Riveron is continuing to do. We saw yesterday, went back and forth, looked at that tape, the interception by Jalen Ramsey. I'm by no means saying that Jacksonville was going to lose that game. They're going to win the game. However, that call was, again, an incorrect reversal. or non-reversal. This time he said there was no inconclusive evidence. It was conclusive to him that the call on the field was touchdown, or call on the field was interception, so it stood. Yet in the Jesse James, he somehow found that it was inconclusive after they called it for a touchdown on the field. It's the same exact play if you saw it. We put them side by side.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, and it's the same exact thing. How do you determine one's good and one's not?
I don't know. If you slow it down enough and play it enough times, you can see almost anything you want in there. I thought the Jesse James play was a touchdown and a catch, but I also thought the Jalen interception was a catch. I did.
Max Kronberg on Twitter says, although Brown had his first practice today and looked much better, do you think he will be a big factor on Sunday, Gene? Do you? He hasn't played in roughly a month.
I have no way of knowing until I see him play. Now, this is the same situation where Brown missed a game earlier in the year, came back, looked absolutely fantastic.
But this is a month layoff.
Yeah, that could happen, and you know, that's one of those things you just have to wait and see. I don't know.
All right, line 4 we go. It's Tony in North Cambria. Hey, Tony, how are you?
Good, Bob. Gene. Hey, guys. I'm with Gene here. I believe Titans can go into New England, beat them.
You really believe that?
Well, the Titans.
Well, yeah, I'm hoping. Number 2, I think it's time for this quarterback to get checked out for, you know, a drug test. I mean, if they think he can play to 45, he got to be on something. And one more thing.
Go ahead.
Can I mention one more thing?
Sure.
What's the chance? This is crazy. I know they signed that coach for 49ers for 10 years or whatever, a long time. But what's the chance of this Belichick ending up there?
In San Francisco? I mean, they're not gonna. He's not gonna be in San Francisco. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
No.
What's the chance of that? I mean, that's a crazy. They
just brought him aboard, and they're not going to do that. That's just not happening. If anything, Belichick would end up in New York with the Giants potentially, or who knows where else. But you know, he said today, and he had a press conference when he basically said, "There's absolutely no chance that I'm anywhere else." So he downplayed it. We'll see. Time can change a lot of things. Gene, I want to ask you about the Penguins real quick, and when we come back in our next block, we'll get your calls on it. Do you think they need something major, something in between, something tweakish as they move into the second half?
I think they need something major in the way of motivation. You know, they've won 2 games in a row now. It's the first time they've done that since December 1st and 2nd. You know, on the other hand, you know, their special teams are tremendous, so they're a little bit hard to figure out. I don't think they need anything major from a personnel standpoint. I think they need to, you know, if they say they want to do the things like try and three-peat, if you will, they have to play a lot harder, a lot more often.
On that note, we'll take a break. We'll get your calls on the Penguins. Let us know, 412-575-2600, right here live on Pittsburgh CW.